During our newscast yesterday, we were the first to tell you about police arresting a suspect. And Lauren, she's been tracking this story for the last 24 hours. What else have you learned?
Well, Felicia, we just received these new documents in the last few hours, and the suspect is identified as 52-year-old George Landy. And police, like you said, were able to track him down yesterday as we were doing this story. We also were able to speak one-on-one with the victim. She tells us she's just thankful to be alive.
I asked him, why you choose me? And he said it just wasn't my lucky day.
The woman in Monday's carjacking in Lawrence didn't want to be identified or show her face, but says she feels some relief knowing the man who did this is now behind bars.
Still shook up because, you know, it's just scary, so my nerves are bad, but I'm better.
It happened at this Dollar Tree off Pendleton Pike. She says a man forced himself into her car after showing a gun. Police say he then drove to two nearby banks. At the last one, she withdrew $500 from the ATM. He then let her go at the transit center downtown. But before he left, she says he handed her cash for a bus ride. An oddly nice gesture, she says, seemed strange at the time.
He just seemed desperate. Like he was on hard times, like for real desperate. And even as I'm crying and steady crying, he's just like, stop crying. I'm not gonna hurt you. Like, stop crying. You know, at one point he even gave me a tissue to wipe my nose.
According to new court documents we just got hours ago, police were able to use surveillance photos from one of the banks to help identify George Landy as the suspect. Detectives later located him at a house just north of downtown, along with the woman's car. But when officers tried to stop him, police say he took off and threw a gun over a fence. Once officers stopped him, they found one of the woman's rings and her car keys in his pockets.
I also learned in these documents that we got that the suspect admitted to being in the car that day, but he told police he didn't have a gun and didn't force her to withdraw any cash, which is something police tell me they have not found to be true. Felicia.